Hey, my village. It's your coach Mo coming to you live today with the topic of pay the lady. Y'all probably like, what is she talking about? I'm just inviting a few friends to jump on and say hi, wave, do all that good stuff when you guys come in so I can know that you're here. And if you like what I'm saying, go ahead and like and share. There might be some people that need my help. But definitely go ahead and like, share, say hi, wave so I can know you're here. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And for those of you who don't know who I am Monique. I go by Coach Mo. I'm a family and parenting life coach. And I'm also a business coach. I help parents co-parent with success to be able to coexist in their child's life, as well as help mompreneurs grow their business. Today's topic is pay the lady. I'm going to begin because I don't want this live to be really long. So one of the first things, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 different tips. So what I mean by pay the lady, hey lady, you don't have to get child support in order for your child to have a relationship with the other parent. I see this as a common issue with parents that I work with. They're like, oh, I don't co-parent because he won't help me financially. They put financials as the number one priority in the co-parenting relationship. And that's not because they don't have anything to do really with the kid. The kid don't know that the other parent are not paying any child support. So why let them suffer and not have a relationship with the other parent because of money? So another thing is, what do you do when the other parent don't have a job? Like, I see women expect something out of nothing. They cannot make something out of nothing. So I see them like, oh, he won't give me any money. He won't do this. But then I'll look at like, what does he do for a living or something like that? And they're like, oh, he don't have a job right now. So how do you expect him to pay child support or give you any financial help when he don't have a job? Like, be realistic. And a lot of people are superficial, like with their expectations. You cannot help financially if you don't have any finances. So that's really crazy. If y'all see me looking over, I'm looking at my notes so I can stay on track and keep this video short. But they can't make something out of nothing. So I always tell women, be realistic when it comes to your child father paying child support. If they don't have no job, they don't have no job. They don't have no money. Simple as that. Even though it's not an excuse, but they can still have a relationship with their child. And I tell men, if you're not working, she shouldn't be stressed and worried about daycare. You should be taking care of your kid while she's making the money until you're able to start working and contribute. That is a form of contributing. You're relieving her of any type of stress financially with paying for daycare or paying a babysitter or something like that. You can be kicking in that part, and that be your contribution. It's not okay. Look at your notes. Oh, it's okay. Look at your notes. Hey. But yeah, it's crazy how people be having these unrealistic expectations of the other person when if they just can't, they can't. And I always let people know, stop treating your child like a paycheck. Your child is not a paycheck. You cannot put a price tag on your child. It's not a value to be a parent. Being a parent is a job, but it's not a job that you get paid for. So it's like, stop trying to put amount on your child. Even though I know it's not free to take care of a kid, they do have to eat, they do have to have a roof over their head, clothes, shoes, stuff like that. That's common sense, but you cannot put a price on it. So I always try to educate people when they try to figure out what's reasonable for the other person to come in and help with the stuff. Yes, it could be 50-50, but sometimes you can't predict some expenses. So just be realistic. And if you do, you're just as wrong. Like those who put a price tag on their kids, you're just as wrong as those parents that was in the R. Kelly situation. And that's how I see it, because you're pimping your kids off for a certain amount. So you're just as wrong as those parents. Oh, pay me this much and pretty much you can see your kid. Like your kid, you cannot trick your kid off like that. That is so unacceptable and it's so wrong on every level. And your child father is not obligated to take care of you. So if you're looking at, oh, you got to help me financially and stuff like that, you can't throw in your bills that like car note and stuff. That's your personal thing. It's not a necessity. You can catch the bus, but stuff like that, paying for you to keep up with the Joneses and stuff like that, that's not a necessity. So you can include your bill with your personal care, your toiletries, all that stuff. It should only be the expenses for the kid. That's it. If your child, what's a reasonable expense is, say for instance, you have a 3-bedroom house, you have 2 kids, each kid has their own room. He can pay as though that kid, if his child has their own room, he can pay the fee as a roommate. So divided by 3 people, however much the rent is, he paid that 1/3. That's a reasonable amount to say, okay, for housing, you contribute this much for your child room and everything else. But don't be unrealistic thinking they're going to pay your full rent so you can just sit back on your butt, not doing anything, not contributing, or have him taking care of the next person's kid because you got a deadbeat baby daddy and you got one good baby daddy and you make him feel like he got to take care of your whole family. No, that's wrong. Because that ain't his child. He's only responsible for his child and his child only, not you and not no one else's kids. Even if when you were together, he was taking care of the other kid, it's not his obligation once you're gone. Another thing is your child is not your meal ticket. So you still have to contribute your part and you have to still step up to the plate. I see a lot of people that get child support or spousal support, stuff like that. They will not even try to get a job because they're getting more than enough to survive each month because the courts go against men. It's not equal. It's not fair. And you see a lot of men suffering and pissed off because they're like, they got screwed because they're taking care of you and you using them as your meal ticket. You see a lot of girls trying to get pregnant by celebrities, stuff like that, because they're like, oh, that's my meal ticket. I'm not going to have to work. I'm going to have his baby. It's just ridiculous. Like, and I'm sick and tired of seeing that. It's not nothing to play with because when their money is gone, then what are you going to do when they don't make it? You just need to hold your own as a parent, period. Everybody play their part, and being a parent is not a paid gig. So just keep that in mind. It's all a mindset. Some of you only deal with your kids because you're getting a check for them. Because I've seen some deadbeat parents do that too. Because they're getting a check for their kids. That's the only reason why they deal with them. Any other time their kids are pawned off to somebody else to take care of until the check come through. Then they want to act like a parent. So I see that situation as well. And some of those people that don't get a check for their kid, they resent their child because they're not getting any financial help or money from child support and stuff like that. Because I've also seen that where parents resent their kid. They're like, I'm stuck taking care of this kid. I don't get any money from him. I never got child support either. My son is 10 years old, but that don't stop him from having a relationship with his dad. Because I don't put that as the number one priority. He's taken care of. He don't have any needs. And it's all a mindset change. So that's the last thing. Change your mindset and maybe things will get a little easier for you. So if you're pushing financial, child support, you're ignoring everything else. Think about your child and how much they're missing out on the other parent because you're holding finances against them. Or you're stressing them so much that they don't want to come around because you keep talking about finance, what you're going to do, da-da-da-da. You can't do that. That's not healthy. And it don't have anything to do really with the kid because they don't know that their dad or their mom is not paying for stuff. So this goes both ways. And guys, you have to step up to the plate. When it comes to a kid, what I used to tell my son, Dad, you know you have to pay for food every day. So do I, and I have to pay for that for your kid. I shouldn't have to ask you for anything because you know it's going to cost for us to have a roof over our head. It's going to cost for him to have shoes, clothes, stuff like that. He's going to constantly grow. So those are common sense things I shouldn't have to ask you for. You should already know. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I did put the link in the bio for my a free breakthrough call. I do give one free 45-minute breakthrough call. So if you're having issues With co-parenting because of finances, we can definitely have a conversation. You can also just hop on a call with me so I can see what it is that you need and that we could talk through for me to be able to assist you. So that's all I have for you guys today. Tomorrow will be I don't have time. I'm doing a 4-part series. So tomorrow's I don't have time. Wednesday is my child, and Thursday is blame versus problem. So hope you guys tune in for those other ones. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.